Hello, hello. Welcome. Hey, what's up, babe? Thanks for little lurks, man. Just doing this Street Fighter commission for Ouji real quick. I'm gonna try to. It's gonna be really awkward with the way the camera's positioned as usual, so apologies for that. Mic is actually in the way as well of my light source. I think this should be okay for now. Hey, what up, Chib? So nice to see ya. Thanks, man. You have some awesome matches with whoever you get matches with today. We were trying to get some Guilty Gear matches. I'm sorry, Melty Blood matches the other day. Yeah. There we go, that's a little bit better. Oh, yeah. We'll see, I haven't played Melty Blood in a really long time. That would be pretty fun. That'll be okay. Hit you with the Derpy-chan and the Taily Cute real quick. So at least interact a little bit. It's been such a long time since I've done an art stream. Shenmue music just seems to fit with everything, really calm. Even the Monster Hunter streams have been really calm for me. Because they've been just a lot of repeats of monsters and stuff, so... For me, it's been nice. Oh, I see why I did it the way I did. Okay. Get these proportions right. I don't think it's that creepy, but I think it's more the general art style of SF5, to be honest. My stream just what? What happened? What you mean? Got no frame drops on my side. I was gonna say that Street Fighter 4's women creep me out a little bit more than 5's. Cool. Yeah, that's what it is. I keep forgetting that this lamp actually creates a lot of static, so I apologize for that. Still trying to get used to it. There we go. Sorry. It's the lamp, sorry. I'm trying to get it so the mic is, you know, with the drawing and stuff, but yeah. Baka, thank you for the, what is it? Thank you for the bits, man. Ken's face looks better in 4 than 5. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. It's more manly and pristine. Or he kind of looks like a, I don't know, a model in 5. He's not supposed to look like a model. He's a fighter. But oh well. Thanks for the 5 bits, man. Appreciate it. Skirt is way too high. That's what's going on here. So legs are here. Legs there. Yeah. I wonder why I looked so off at first. I was just trying to create the skirt. And it actually turned into a dress. Silly me. I still do struggle with proportions. To be honest, it was just really jarring trying to get used to the 3D style at all, to be honest. So it was like, you know, when they swapped over to 3D style from Third Strike, it just looked so, you know, the outlines and everything looked too thick. And the cell shading just made it look so weird, you know? Like, gameplay-wise, it was still good, of course, but God, it was just so jarring looking at that versus Tekken and stuff. Where Tekken had always like exceeded in its graphics and stuff. Just its gameplay could never like reach the fun factor that Virtua Fighter did, you know? Or at least on a competitive level, on a fair competitive level. Um, oh yeah, MVCI. They had to fix her face first. Once people brought it up, finally, you know, they fixed her face. Now it doesn't look like she had really heavy eye bags under her eyes. You know what I mean? She got a facelift, Botox, and shit ton of makeup. It makes me wonder how much attention to detail they really have with these characters before they show them, you know? It shouldn't take a million of us saying it looks like shit for them to say, you know, for them to change something. Yeah. It looked like solid ass. Till you play it, then, you know, it's liquid ass. It looks like liquid ass, but the actual gameplay is, you know, nice. It's still fun. Fluid YOLO combos. And the proportions of Sakura right here are going to be a challenge, because that reference image is the one I'm using, and it's not like facing forward. Well, that's just kind of how the quote-unquote AAA games are nowadays with fighting games. I mean, hell, they even carried that legacy over to the Power Rangers mobile game, if you saw that. So they added a few Street Fighter characters in there just for shits and giggles. For sales, of course. Oh yeah, Sakura's nice to draw, you know. She is definitely a cutie patootie in this one. A lot less fightery in the older series, which, you know, kind of detracts from her older character, but kind of adds like a new spin to her character. Kind of weird, but I also like the new Sakura. It's a nice change. Looks a little bit better. Want her arm looking too bendy. Yeah, very cartoonish style. Which I guess is what they were trying to go for. So it was like real goofy, but at the same time, there's also some very anime-esque moments. Pretty badass with Oni and Akuma and all that good stuff. But you could tell from like scenes with Rufus, of course. As you know, he's my favorite. They added a lot of humor factor to it as well. Or whatever humor there was. And I guess there was that Street Fighter 4 commercial too, which also capitalized its own set of hokey, you know. Tekken had its set of hokey, so I guess Street Fighter 4 was also doing the hokey thing. No, not necessarily, Nova. Mugen Lord had already actually explained it several times that it wasn't that they didn't have the rights to the X-Men and Fantastic Four for MVCI. It was just that they didn't want to endorse them further. It was only the movie characters. The movie characters were the only thing they couldn't do. But Marvel was like, well, we don't want to give X-Men and Fantastic Four publicity, and that gives them more money and stuff. So instead, we're not going to put him in, and then we'll look what happened to him in the long run. They got pretty much destroyed for that one. Good morning, Jay. Well, that just depends on what Marvel has in store for the, you know, future of said series. As much as we wanted to have hope for Uncanny Edition that Capcom would have control of everything, I don't think that's gonna quite happen that way. Why does this look so weird? Her Legs are thick. I don't know how thick. Gotta make these portions extra thick. That's what I'm missing. Sorry. Alright, see you around, Nova. Exactly. Ryu and Chun-Li have been like the staple 2 characters for Street Fighter for quite a while, to be honest. And they could leave Ken behind because he was just a Shoto clone. Back in, like especially back in Street Fighter 1, where 2-player was always Ken. could add this little curve at the end of the mouth to make it look a little bit more realistic-ish. Well, more anime-ish, I guess. Yeah, that's actually what I was trying to do a bit, Baka, but, you know, for Mika especially, I was trying to do base body. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I was trying to have, like, legs here, here, maybe. So if that's the case, then it should be pretty thick. And some thick legs. That's what you can't see underneath. I'm not gonna lie, then I'm probably drawing similar to Equestria Girl's legs right now, because their legs are freakishly long as well. But I don't know if it works for my style or not. It's kind of interesting to see, but I don't know if it's necessarily effective here. The knee is supposed to be higher. Kneecap. Like right there. Huh. Well, yeah, it's not always about looks for people. If you want to enjoy SF4 and MVCI, go right ahead. They are nice looking games. That's why I enjoy Skullgirls and them's fighting herds and what is it, EX fighting layer and everything. Because, well, to me, you know, they look great, but they're not 3D. Except for, you know, EX layer, of course, but still. It's like a different level of looking good. Right. Thing is, our Mika and Sakura are right around the same height, I think. I don't know if I want to, like, actually put them side by side or not, because, you know, in the fighting game itself, I think it's pretty much the same. Well, yeah, Skullgirls was definitely a long worked on game, and a lot of love and care went into that one. It's just not as mainstream, but it's still being played at tournaments. I've seen the compilations. Oh yeah, definitely a lot of love. And with Zone on Lab Zero's team, they got a lot more love, if you catch my meaning. Good old Zontan. Aw, hello, pretty nitty. How's it going? I will nuzzle your dress with my tails. Also, yeah, Sonic Fox is great at that game. I've seen definitely some gameplay from Sonic Fox. And D-Kill Sage, right, is the one that dominates with what is it? Beowulf, right? I've seen some nasty Beowulf setups from him. Although more recently, I was seeing some sick setups with Sarabella. But I'm gonna guess that Warskunk stream just ended. I was a little occupied, a little too occupied to notice, but I did say hello there, here and there. A few screes and some gifs about dresses. So I'm trying to just draw a simple skirt with this design for Sakura. Oh, it ended a half an hour ago. Okay. So I was kind of right. Oh well. There you go. Side skirts. There's another layer to the skirt up here. Oh. Yeah, that it did. Like almost exactly half an hour ago. Okay, yeah, there's still plenty of this playlist left. Did you happen to see that new work in progress video by Blackleg Chef for Maximilian's Mugen character, by the way? It was over a year ago since Maximilian and his crew played that Mugen by Blackleg Chef. And he finally came out of the woodwork and showed his progress. So I thought that was pretty cool. Should be here. This would be like right there. erase this real quick and then I'll read this. Let's see. Exactly, Baka, yeah. And I've said this many times, I think, and there's a lot of pro players that I've seen that have said the same exact thing. And even low tier God, and I think DSP have said it too, is you can literally get beat by somebody who barely even plays the game by doing dumb shit and win. Because there's barely any options. You don't really have much choices of what you get to do in the game. You get your wake ups, you get your V reversals, and you get like wake up supers and DPs and stuff. You gotta find all the invincible stuff, and then you just gotta win with it. There's not much else. I mean, even Tekken, as hokey as it is, you at least have was it mid and high parries plus low parries is a different command. You got your throws, and throws are much easier to break in that game. You got your screw combos, and some of the characters also have ground bounce combos, so you can actually combo off of a ground bounce still, but it's not as prominent as it is in Tekken 6 and Tekken Tag Tournament 2, which in that game you had a whole tag system, so that was awesome. I think some of my frames just dropped. Sorry. I was talking about Tech and Tekken. But yeah. Not many choices. Where Third Strike you had like universal overheads that were quick and didn't do a shit ton, you know. Stun wasn't as prominent as it is in 5. And you could actually roll when you tech rolled, you know. It wasn't like a tech and then it was like slow and you rolled like maybe a foot instead of in Third Strike where you could roll like 4 feet away, you know, so they wouldn't have a chance to screw you up right away. That's not really a good wake-up option. Like, you don't have a good wake-up option other than invincible stuff. That's the problem. Unless you have bar to do something stupid like EXDP or EX Flash Kick. It makes you feel like a scrub. It made me feel like a piece of shit. Even with Blanco, where he's got the invincible up EX ball. That made me feel horrible every time to do it, especially if it worked. That made me feel even worse. Like, that's something that should never work. But I can't lie that I appreciate some of the designs of the characters, though. Design choices and stuff. Like, even Abigail from his old boring look, where he was just literally just big thug dude. Now he's over the top ridiculous Canadian baby face paint looking man-child who really loves cars. Oh yeah. Well, even I was cheesing with Laura. Laura is actually one of the characters I started with because, you know, she was waifu Blanca. And even though I wasn't like big on Blanca at the time until he became a meme, I still really liked, you know, the initial look of her. And then when she wasn't so top tier, you know what I mean? Well, yeah. Games aren't exactly for money purposes and advertising purposes. They're not really known for mechanics and stuff, you know? Like, actually, I was just watching a Maximilian video about people asking how to get good at fighting games. And he was like, well, it's really hard for me to explain to somebody how awesome X art is by saying that there's Roman cancels and dust, and you can dust into a wall and continue combos and stuff. Your average, normal, everyday fighting like noob would be like, what are you talking about? I don't know what a Roman cancel is. You talking about Roman candles? I know what those are. Ape, thank you for the 5 Pog champs. Holy crap, dude. You're crazy, man. You are now my number 2 cheer. You took the number 2 spot, man. Over Bean. You beat Bean. You're crazy, dude. Anyways, yeah, really hard to explain to somebody what Roman cancels are and everything until you pretty much get into an essay about, like, what the heck you're supposed to do with all these mechanics and stuff. And you're practically like taking them to fighting game school. That's the crazy thing. But yeah, at least the design, some of the designs were nice, but they also made some questionable ones, like Lion Mane Akuma. Like, I understand that he's like, oh, covered in darkness and everything, but it also makes him look a little ridiculous. But that's kind of the eye of the beholder, right? So it is what it is. You have to play the game first and get used to the basics. Well, that's pretty much how it should be with every game. You can't just expect to get good by somebody's advice alone. Can't run without learning to walk. Like me teaching calculus to first graders, in a way, yeah. It does sound easier than it is, though, like down forward and a punch button, or down back and a kick button. And especially if it's something like Street Fighter V, you don't really need to know much in terms of combos. You can pretty much just spam the same move over and over again if you have the right character, like say Cammy, because she's top tier. Maybe as not as much as before, but she's pretty much still top tier, which is why Punk still uses her instead of Kaine. Other than that, though, like, imagine trying to explain how, or everything about Monster Hunter World. That is like teaching calculus to a bunch of first graders. Because there is so much in that goddamn game that a noob would be like sitting there in awe. Because there's like, it's like another way of life in that game. And it's why Mateo and I, spend so much time in that game, just trying to grind for stuff and learning new mechanics here and there. There's just so much to learn. With most fighting games, yeah, it'll take some years to like get used to, like to fully understand all of the mechanics and stuff, but like looking at it, it's actually not that much. And if you've played any other fighting game, then most of it'll carry over. Especially any 2D plane fighting game. 3D plane's a little bit different, but it's still something. Yeah, Dark Souls. Especially like something that's suitable for PvP, Dark Souls. That's some different stuff. And then they keep changing certain mechanics in the other Souls games that isn't related to Dark Souls, but it still carries like that genre because it's from software, and that's where it gets pretty crazy. What was that one quote? Before you can walk, you have to crawl. Before you can crawl, you have to learn to crawl, or whatever it was. It was like a movie quote, but I can't remember where it's from. Yeah, but math has always been my worst enemy. When it comes to most anything else, it's just real life stuff, and then you just have to do a lot of remembering, and I suck at remembering. So I have to bring like cheat sheets for myself, if I can make them. When it comes to like current day math, you cannot ask me to current day math because they just keep changing shit. I could barely get through statistics the way it was. But I did it, at least. You're right, right. Once you get the basics and stuff, you know, for the people that can understand it and have the patience for that, you know, good for them. More power. I just personally can't. That's why I have bleak hope for my school future, because of barely being able to pass stuff like that. Or most anything, really. For me, it's like unnecessary stress for myself. I just don't like it. Well, at least I can say I don't do that, but still. When it comes to advanced mathematics, you got me. That is for sure. This eye is way off-centered. I don't know what I was thinking with that. Let's see, right there. Have room for the headband. Like the police code. Either way, yeah, I mean, I'm sure by now you've heard like the common question of any, like asking any math teacher, mathematician, or whatever is, when the heck are we going to use this in actual real life? Like the advanced stuff. And 90% of the time, you're not. You're really not. It's the basic arithmetic, like algebra, that kind of stuff, or pre-algebra really, is when you're gonna use like everyday stuff for like money and all that kind of good stuff. but normally you wouldn't. You just randomly use calculus in the middle of a street, because I certainly don't. For video games too. Like EXP levels, there's a lot of numbers, but all that really is you reach a number and that's it. I believe you, Nitty. You'd probably just break my brain, to be honest. I'd see a bunch of numbers and my mind would go blank. Yeah, exactly. Engineers and scientists. That's for their fields, not for most people's fields. For us, that stuff doesn't make sense. Not in the slightest. Holy crap, more bits by Baka. Roblox. Killing me, man. You know, that game would actually kill me in game. Trying to play that thing. Anyways. And I'm glad that made you, you know, in your comfortable place, Nitty. It's just not my comfortable place. It's like seeing Vietnam flashbacks when I was in school, and it just made me kick myself because I couldn't understand any of it. And it was the feeling of, why does this all look like alien speak to me? But I know how important this is. Yeah. So, I like how the word FAP is in this link. That's pretty funny. I know, I'm very, very mature. Let me check this out. If it'll load. Oh yeah, that would be why. Yeah, I'm looking at this and it's like a crap ton of numbers. I don't know what this is. That's some advanced stuff. Hey Nitty, you can actually strive for that, so I applaud that, you know. You've told me about that several times, and I'd be lucky to even get past, you know, calculus period. Or pre-calculus, really. Because I struggled with that in senior year. And then I tried intermediate algebra again, and I couldn't do it for college. I actually failed it, like, miserably. I read carefully about what to do, but apparently I didn't understand. Well, Penn State can go fluff themselves because they just don't see it. Because not everybody can be freaking, you know, a social butterfly or an extrovert like you're supposed to be, quote unquote. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that, you know, like, even getting with GPAs, not everybody got like high GPAs, and they still led successful lives because people, you know, there's companies that picked them up and stuff, or they even did their own thing and they just happened to create a business, or they adopted it from their family, so they're the lucky ones. Either way, big businesses like Walt Disney, you know, started from one person, just expanded, and all these other companies that just kind of hit it off the way that they could. Not all of them need to have doctorates, and they were still madly successful. Right, I know, Nitty. Alright. I've read all those venting posts in Discord as well. No, it happens. At least we have something to talk about, I guess. But, I guess I've certainly felt like I've been wasting my life away for the past few days on Monster Hunter, because holy crap, that freaking game consumed my life. It was like every day for the entire day of just monster hunting and pretty much doing the same thing over and over again. No, we all hate that mood. I'd rather, you know, use that mood to do vent art at least, you know? Right, exactly. It's up to us to make ourselves become productive. And for me, it's hard to, because I keep trying to do the hard stuff so it feels like work, you know? When it doesn't really even take that much energy to do. It's more of just the doing it part, and then not feeling like you're kind of shit at it, you know? As long as you aren't a negative influence, because there's some people that just think they're the best and they shit on everyone else. And I know a few. I don't want to name names either. Or they're average at art, but they want to become better at it. It all just depends. We're all flawed by design. There's no perfect artist. There's just ones that are really good, you know? Even if you could make an animated movie in a day, like a full-length animated movie, just because, frame by frame, doesn't mean you're perfect. It just means that you excel in that. But you'd probably be a goddamn superstar. Well, of course I'm gonna still protect you, Baka. Because I don't like taking sides. Not usually anyways, but you know. Yeah, well, being, you know, mentally sick is a different issue. For some of us, it's just the motivation of everything around us, you know? Our will and, you know, morale just kind of goes down. That's usually the problem for us. And then I've actually explained my dysphoria, because I pretty much feel like I've seen it all. And like I said, it sucks for me to see that every time, where people can't succeed because the ones that support them only support them through food and whatnot, you know, or just barely enough to live and be under their roof, but they can't actually branch out and do anything else. Or they invest in the wrong things because they assume that that's what they wanted to do. I've actually been in that situation several times, where it was either a school requirement or it was just something that I had said one day and was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. And then they just do it, and then they actually go through with like the stuff. I'm specifically talking about my guitar lesson part of my life. I've never even pictured myself ever as a guitarist, but one day they just decided to buy me several, like one guitar, and then it turned into more guitars, and it just kind of went from there, because it was at least something productive, you know, and that's nice, you know. But part of me wishes that I could turn back time and learn something like the shamisen instead, because it was a really nice sounding instrument. But it's still a stringed instrument, and I didn't really want to learn instruments through strings, so just doing strings. Either way, you know, my Ibanez guitar is still over there. It's actually a semi-hollow. It's like a sparkly metallic silver. It's a nice guitar. I've not touched it for like over a year. It just sits over there, as well as my amp and my wah pedals. Never touch it because I don't have any will to play it or anything. I never did. So it just felt like wasted money, and it's wasted space too. I've actually wanted to, like, you know, sell it. But I don't have the means to, and I don't want to. No, people usually jump to there's a lot of people that jump to conclusion, but you know, as you've seen through comments and posts and blogs and stuff, there's a lot of people that say stupid things, and there's a few people that actually understand that they've either had somebody that's gone through something similar, or they're going through it. So damn. Damn, it is already 10:47, my boys. It's crazy. Yeah. And it kind of caught on late, and it was like gamers and stuff that that I typically see do like the really important stuff, you know. Gamers or even like the pony community. That's where I usually saw it. As a matter of fact, I was telling Mateo just earlier today that I was watching that fan project. It's Nittany, you probably know of it. It's Daughter of Discord. The finale just got finished yesterday, or 2 days ago actually. And right at the beginning, I think Pokey in my pocket had a Make-A-Wish come true. And they were actually sick. I don't know from what, but you know, I've seen what Make-A-Wish does, and that's really awesome. Right. But as far as being like an artist, you know, I think I more like to stick with cute things because they're easier to draw. There's less details, and yeah, just it feels easier and it actually feels better when you finish it, and then it just looks cute, you know. Too much details, like doing full-blown dresses for every crinkle and everything. It takes so much time, and then after everything, you feel like it's subpar, you know. At least I do. Yeah, I hear you, Nitty. I certainly know. I've read those posts. Hey, Scatters. You missed some art, but this is the progress so far, so you didn't really miss much of anything. Well, yeah, because the government is a thing, so technically we're all reliant on the government still, because taxes and stuff. Then you have to file for your taxes and stuff to get it back. The closest you can get is freelancing, and that stuff is really competitive. You don't have to rely on the government, but you have to rely on everyone else. Yeah. I know that Nittany's been around pretty much nothing but negative for quite a while. Over 6 years. Well, hopefully you recover, Scatters. But I'm also doing a commission, but this is my own part 2 commission. I decided to go further with it. So I got most of the body work done for Sakura, and it's just even starting on like the actual details for our Mika. Yep, thank you. Because I'm trying to expand my art here. I'm working on anatomy, practice, and trying to make it look right. It's a process. thing is that drama and negativity is practically inescapable too. Both in your situation and just all around us, really. Especially with the media, it just spreads it more. You can do it, Scatters. At least you're doing backgrounds. I'm not starting on any backgrounds yet. I'm just trying to start on characters. As much as I should start on backgrounds, for me it's just a bunch of shapes that I need to get straight, you know? And I wouldn't mind if you send me a DM on Discord. I just can't really, you know... I can check it, I just can't type back, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, somebody's messaging me on Discord right now. I think it's... oh, it's Nittany. Okay. Yep. I'd like to see it. I won't be streaming for too much longer anyways. I started super late because I finally did those work things that I was talking about earlier. For anyone that was here. Just had to do a few quick things. And it's not even done yet. But since I can only do those things in the day, I'll do it tomorrow morning. Cool. Let me see him real quick. More lewds, I presume. Oh wow, it's actually not lewd. It's a cute. And actually includes your OC? I'm interested. Just fancy, nice. So that's good. It's a lot of improvement because it, you know, there's a lot more props in that. So I think it's worth more. You should try doing some more like that. You can just call him Baka, or B-Senpai. But, yeah. Especially when it comes to streaming for me, I just kind of like to do it, you know? I don't feel too embarrassed around the apartments here because nobody really charges in and is like, hey, you're being too loud. You need to shut up and whatnot. It's like, no, you know? People around here are usually pretty chill, especially now when it's the daytime, you know. It's not really like I'm being rowdy and have to calm down because there's other people being rowdy and they keep to themselves. Well, it's still a good week's worth, you know, of art, Scatters. The quality in the end that matters. I just know that with your characters you can usually do them pretty quick in like a day or so because you don't put too much detail in it, you know. It's a simple pony shape and whatnot. But if you can practice your backgrounds and everything and actually make it faster and also still detailed, then it's nice. And with comics also keeping the quality consistent, you know, continuity in your art style. This is where it looks much better. Right. And even at home, I only did chores whenever I was asked to, and I was hardly ever asked to do chores because they would rather do it themselves. Just every family's different. In fact, I think I only mowed the lawn maybe twice while I was home, you know. Barely even cleaned the bathrooms and stuff. Because my family was so laid back about that, they'd rather do it themselves while I was off at school or something. Well, yeah. Especially if you're doing YCH's scatters, it's better to give your customers as much as they can get, you know, the most bang for their buck, as they'd say. And that'll be well worth it in the end. It's just improving it over time and then adding more and more stuff that they would like their characters in. Some buttons. Looks like really low. Well, you don't have to discount it if you have a tablet. If anything, you should charge more, because your quality of work will be more, you know, or at least it should be. Scatters. Yeah, I can only imagine what time it is over there in Malaysia. Yeah, I guess it's nice that I'm single and alone, where, you know, people don't interrupt me while I'm trying to, you know, have fun and remind me that real life exists. But it depends on, you know, who you are and who your baby girl is or whatever. You know, with Bean, he's got so many kids that doesn't stop him from streaming. And Bean was a Twitch affiliate way before me. He's very productive. Right, that still sucks, Nitty, that you can't lock your own door. Yeah, whatever, Scatters. Donations are donations. You don't need to thank us or discount your stuff. Just keep working at it. Keep being you know, keep trying to improve yourself as an artist, because you have a lot of potential. Even if the means aren't, you know, easy to get. And yeah, Bean is a very good parent. He's already got a lot on his plate, you know, he works very hard. It's all his kids, and still streams and, you know, does music on the side. Well, the thing was that for Bean, Street Fighter V was his main thing. He actually wrote me into that even. He tends to stick to the stuff that's, you know, more mainstream and whatnot. That's good for followings. He also had a bunch of homies already, so Plus, he supports a lot of people. He goes to random streams, and they just happen to come by out of there because he supported them already. So they're more inclined to come by and say hi. You know, I don't do that as much as him, and that's what actually impresses me. I just mostly do my own thing. But usually if they come by my stream, then, you know, I give them a follow and say hi every once in a while. But Bean is different. He actually actively seeks people out that's also interested in what he's interested in, which is awesome. Especially when it comes to, like, MVCI nowadays, because he's a big Marvel fan still. Yeah, it just depends on the game, you know. I still have, you know, this love for Battlefield. I just don't play it much. Oh, you finally saw it, Baka? Yeah, I pretty much said it the day that he released that page. I thought it was really cool. Like that, like Slap City, you know, that was starting to get a following, and I wanted to jump on board. It's really fun and competitive. It's almost like everyone's broken in a way, but that's what makes it really fun. But it's exciting and silly and fun, you know? So that's why I like it. Ouch, Scatters. You need to calm yourself with the spicy stuff then. Get like regular noodles. Oh, I think this one's your favorite track, Baka. The forklift song. I'd be lying to say that this song didn't rub off on me either while I was getting those crates up onto other crates into other spots. Oh yeah. Well, it's like my friend that goes to Chinese buffets and he can't handle the day after, where it pretty much murders his digestive system. Poor guy. He loved it. He couldn't handle it the day after. Well, that's good to hear. That's good news, Nitty. You're talking about War Skunk, right? Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Tomato Store and Danny Old Man. What about Bob's Pizza? Not as much. Dandy Old Man, I can understand. I remember that. And hello, MC. Welcome. Oh, right, Scatters. Oh, it's not War Skunk? Okay. Not this time. I booped you on Picardo, by the way, Nitty, because I just realized that you sent a comment over there like an hour ago. Sorry. Oh, I hear you, Scatters. Not from me, Nitty, no. I didn't say anything about the day after. I was talking about my friend who couldn't handle Chinese buffet food. Oh, okay, Scatters. I know that's still a problem for you. Money's always an issue. Yeah, because, no, I don't watch movies. I barely even watch cartoons. Or anime. No. I wish I got that joke, Nitty. Or I'm pretty sure you were serious. Gotcha, Nitty. Yeah. I don't blame you, Scatters. There's a lot of episodes to go through. Yeah, the Cold War tensions, right? That makes sense. But still, I didn't pay pretty much any attention to most of this, you know, live action stuff especially. Barely even news, too. Right, you can pretty much just see it all around us. As far as the doomsday clock is concerned, but wishful thinking says that I don't want to believe that either. Who knows? You mean literally for you? Because, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's nowhere close to midnight. Not for me, at least. Speaking of times, though, as much as I'd love to talk to you guys even more, I've been stuck on this picture for quite a while, just kind of lining over and erasing stuff here and there. So I think I'm done for now. Need to get some rest my back and all that good stuff. And then hopefully I can do some fun dancing or stuff tomorrow, so I can get my body moving. It feels really good to draw with my Huion glove again and using the brush and stuff for my sketch paper, so hope you do like it. You can see the Kirby a little bit better. Right there. There's that for you. Still quite a few marks on this paper, but I think I'll be closing out, so I appreciate everyone that stopped by. Yep. I did make a decent amount of progress today, so I'm happy with that. Thanks, Nittany. Like I said, I just see as many details as that's in the picture, and I just kind of draw it, so hopefully I'll get a little bit better at that over time. It's mostly anatomy that's still getting me, man, because there's a lot of details when it comes to the anatomy of the characters, especially like 3D models. You can see all their, as many muscles as they put into the models, so with that I'm trying to get an understanding of. Hopefully I'll get it soon. There's still some corrections that I see that I need to make with the calves and boots and socks and all that stuff. So as far as a hobby / skill that I want to have, it's art, because I've done writing before, and I do a lot of editing too for people that just happen to not have English as their native language, so they ask me to edit for them. So I think that's pretty neat, you know. But I guess regardless, you know, there's some writing that I even want to do for my own story, so there's even some like fan fiction, quote unquote, that I want to make. But oh yeah, art is definitely cheaper than storm chasing. So, and that's the thing, is my dreams are small, because the things that I need is not like huge in the money department. So I'm fine with that, you know. I'm fine with being boring at home and just doing art and like music and stuff in my room for the rest of my life. I'm totally okay with that. I don't need an exciting life. I want to live like a calm life, but like, you know, have the animations that I do be exciting, you know. Like that would be the full extent of me doing something exciting, is just stuff media-wise that I can just sit at home and relax and be in my own thoughts, you know. That's my way of meditating, and that's my way of working. That's the way I wish for it to be, but who knows how long that'll work. Well, storm chasing is very exciting to me. Like, that would make me have a panic attack, I think. Being that close to a tornado. Exactly. But I also want to do something productive, so like full-on arts, and eventually learning how to animate, and then also creating my own movies with like moderately cheap programs that can do music that's not copyright ridden and stuff. Well, regardless, I don't like being in storms in general, and I'm not a weather person. Although, ironically, there's, in Shenmue 2, there's actually a girl in there named Shenhua. She was talking about the weather and how she can tell when a storm is about to hit, or if it's going to be a clear day because of how the wind shifts, and then seeing thin clouds and stuff. I thought you might have been interested in that, but you weren't there, for that Shenmue 2 stream. But regardless, I thought you would have been interested in it. She was getting very in depth with weather because she lived on an island all her life. So I thought that was cool. So yeah, I want to then give a shout out to my friends on Twitch, of course. Killer is here, and Ape as well. Thank you, Baka and Ape. Thank you so much for the bits, and Nittany, of course. Thank you for sticking with. I really appreciate it. Scatters on YouTube and Nova and Stick Nerd. Thank you as well. And Punk J as well. Thank you also for stopping by. I hope you're having a fantastic day on your streams and stuff that you have, or whatever you're doing. Getting out of that slump of Street Fighter V and whatnot. Well, no problem. I appreciate all of you for coming by. And, you know, I don't ask for you to really do any of that for me, but I really appreciate when you do. So I thank you. Thank you very much. Every one of you on Twitch especially helped me get to Twitch affiliate, and I really, really appreciate that. This is still leftover stuff that I gotta do from the charity stream, so I hope to do more of these as well. So I want to give back as much as I can. And, you know, there's only so much I can give, but I'll try and give as much as I can, you know. As much of the 110% that my body will let me, you know. My brain and specifically my hand when it comes to drawing and whatnot. So I really do hope to do that in the future. Plan stories, do a whole bunch of fan art for friends, you know. When it comes to fan art, I usually do it for friends, not so much for like big artists and stuff. But I hope to eventually, you know, have bigger plans for the future, you know, and actually pull through with it. And like I said, I have a lot of ideas that I kind of want to do, you know. Nothing too serious, but just kind of want to see it done, you know. That would just make me happy, you know, satisfied. But regardless, I appreciate you all for stopping by. Hope to see y'all next time. But until then, peace out. Have a blessed day. Ja love. See ya.